Greetings, family. This is Brother Ron. You are listening to and watching We All Be News, News-Free Dixie for the 21st century. Can you dig it? Greetings, family. This is your brother. Y'all know what time it is, man. We all be in it to win it. Just want to share some quick thoughts about Robert Francis Kennedy Jr., RFK Jr., who was announced by the Trump team, the MAGA team. He's going to be, or has been nominated to be Donald Trump's Health and Human Services Secretary, which is a big honor. Donald Trump is the true disruptor. He's a disruptor. Word him up. He'll do it like that. Word him up. I want to say this. I'm coming to y'all on what will be the 99th heavenly birthday or life affirmation day of the one and only Robert Francis Kennedy Sr., RFK Jr.'s father. 2 days from now will be November 22nd, which will be the death anniversary of JFK, John Fitzgerald Kennedy, President of the United States, who was assassinated in broad daylight in Daley Plaza down in Dallas, November 22nd, 1963. RFK Jr.'s uncle. So he's no stranger to opposition. He's no stranger to being a target targeted by the deep state. He is truly a targeted individual. Even before he was born, his family been targeted. But what I want to talk about RFK Jr., I feel so blessed to be alive in this moment in history, because RFK Jr. is the right person for the job. He is the right person for the job. He is continuing the work of his amazing family. Now, you think about what's interesting. RFK Jr. Father, RFK Sr., was once the Attorney General under his brother, the top law officer in the land. And he did his work. Back in his time, RFK Sr. took on the mob, the Mafia, La Cosa Nostra, on the Union, Jimmy Hoffa and them. He took them on head on. Like, he was an attack dog for the Kennedy administration. In a lot of ways, he got the job done. His involvement in law enforcement as Attorney General basically laid the blueprint or the groundwork for what we now know as RICO, the Racketeer Influence Corrupt Organization Act, that was used to get the heads of the 5 families of the mob, NYC La Cosa Nostra, back in the 80s, with the help of Rudy Giuliani, who became a future mayor of New York City, as well as a strong and loyal Trump supporter. So this is interesting to think about. You pull back all these layers, but the mob that RFK Jr. has taken on, like his daddy took on La Cosa Nostra 60-something years ago, but the new mob is Big Pharma, Big Food, Big Agro, whatever, Big Oil, all that stuff. Bobby Kennedy is taking on the mob. His dad took on the mob. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. took on Monsanto, or who I like to call Monsters Incorporated, Monsters Inc. I call Monsanto Monsters Inc. They created the Frankenfruit, the seedless monsters that is poisoning us, allegedly. You think about what's going on. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has been consistent in calling out Big Pharma. He did a book that, called out Fauci, the fraud G. I call him the fraud C. He's fraud C, not Fauci. He's fraud C. He's a fraud C, allegedly. To me, RFK Jr. book is more potent and powerful than anything Kendrick Lamar or Tupac has done in the rap hip-hop game. Check out that book that RFK Jr. done. I'm going to do a deep dive into that book myself and get ready for the future that is now. Robert Kennedy Jr., make America healthy again. I believe he's very sincere. What got me on to Bobby Kennedy Jr., what got me on his side, is the fact that I remember when he did a concession speech, like when he kind of bowed out this year's presidential cycle, although his name appeared on ballots throughout the country still. He gave his support to Trump. I listened to the speech he done, I believe it was in Arizona, right before a Trump rally, a press conference that CNN disrespected. But thank God for social media, for the internet. The internet is undefeated. Where he talked about why he got involved in the presidential race to begin with, his lifelong commitment to combating the chronic illness industry complex, to make America sick again. Massa, make America sick again. He confrontation in the courtrooms, outside the courtrooms, in environmental justice, even like environmental racial justice, because he called out vaccines. He protested in front of the CDC. He worked with the Nation of Islam to try to bring awareness to how black boys were being affected by these so-called vaccines. A lot of people may believe that some vaccines may cause autism. There's been a lot of controversy around that. But Bobby Kennedy has been consistent throughout the decades. But what I love about his concession speech and by his commitment to serving the people was his sincerity. Now, people complain about the quality of his voice. He can't help that he got a chronic illness that he worked on. But I think God did that on purpose, because it forces you to really listen to what Bobby Kennedy is saying. Bobby Kennedy Jr. is saying. It forces you rather to focus in, to really listen to everything he's saying. And I truly enjoyed listening to him talking. Now, he said he doesn't like listening to his voice, but I think by him connected with Trump, his voice is becoming stronger and there's a lot more clarity. Because if it wasn't any clarity to what he was saying, he wouldn't be presented as a big threat to the establishment. And I thank God for President Trump and Bobby Kennedy connected, because that connection runs deep. Roy Cohn, the legal wizard, who was the mentor for Donald John Trump, he worked with Bobby Kennedy's father as part of the legal counsel team for Senator Joseph McCarthy during the Red Scare era. Now, what people don't understand, they villainize Senator Joseph McCarthy today, but during his prime, he was considered a hero, but he was telling the truth about the federal government being compromised by communists. There were communists in the government. Check out the Alger Hiss case. Check out the Rosenbergs, the Julius and Ethel Rosenberg. I'm just throwing little tidbits. But Trump and Kennedy got deep ties. Just like with Elon Musk and Trump. Elon Musk is the founder of Tesla company, but Donald Trump's uncle, John Trump, MIT professor, brilliant scientific mind, he was given the job to overlook the journals and notebooks and whatnot, diaries of Nikola Tesla when he passed away in his apartment or hotel room up in New York around, I think January the 7th, 1943, I believe, somewhere around that. Take a look, it's all online. But Trump, these connections run deep. Trump made a promise to Robert Kennedy Jr. to finally release those JFK files, possibly also releasing Epstein files. Cat Williams called it at the beginning of the year. This is the year of exposure. This is a year of truth. Everything shall be exposed. Idols will fall. We've been seeing that in real time right now in 2024. This is like 2024 is like 2016 and 2020 on steroids put together. It always happened during a presidential cycle, but Trump was called for this appointed time to connect with Robert Kennedy Jr. to bring the establishment down to their knees. They are taking it to the deep state. They taking it deep into the deep state. They are smashing and pounding the deep state. So I bless Bobby Kennedy Jr. May the righteous ancestor stars and universe soul gods protect him, because he's doing the work of his uncle and his father. I know they are proud of him. His mama, Ethel Kennedy, she passed on not too long ago. I'm sure she had a powwow with the family, lay off of Bobby Jr. He's doing his thing. He always been different. He always been himself. But I truly believe he's authentic, that he's a great thing for America, because I believe Donald Trump in himself is JFK, Huey Long, and Jack Johnson's revenge. And Bobby Kennedy is the Michael Corleone of the Kennedy family. He's taking care of family business, and that's great for America. Make America healthy again. God bless Robert Kennedy Jr. God bless America. God bless the world. And we all be in it to win it. And we love y'all madly. Until the next time. Peace. And also, furthermore, people, think about this. The current assistant Health and Human Services Secretary is Rachel Levine, who was born a male, but identified now as a woman, who's also an admiral. So my thing is, no disrespect to Rachel Levine and all that, but you know, we're living in a clockwork orange idiocracy, 1984 type of world. So I just want to let y'all know. I mean, they worry about RFK Jr., who's been consistent in calling out these people, naming names, wanting to get the fluoride out the water, wanted to do all this stuff, get all these chemicals that are in our food that's killing us. You know what I'm saying? All this processed food. The fact that you got 11 different type of chemicals in McDonald's fries, allegedly in America, but overseas are like just four ingredients, with salt being optional. The fact that they putting dyes and everything in our Gatorade and whatever, Skittles and M&Ms, whatever. There's a problem that, you know, that Mountain Dew is outlawed in all these other countries, but in America, they've been selling Mountain Dew for forever. And they know that Mountain Dew has been toxic since 1971. So how can we trust the Food and Drug Administration? They should be broken up. Because why? They approve the foods that make you sick and the drugs that make you sicker. So are they in your best interest? It's like with the drug game. You know what I'm saying? I remember reading some years ago about Chicago. The DEA made a deal with the Sinaloa cartel, I believe, the El Chapo cartel. They will allow them to control like a huge major stake of the drug trade in Chicago if they were willing to consent to snitching on other cartels. So who's the really big drug traffickers? Who's the mob? To me, the government, the deep state, as we know it, is the mob. So my thing is, y'all stay alert, stay aware. God is great. Righteous ancestors are here. They want their check. They want us to cash that check for all of us, because we all be in it to win it. One love. Once again, Brother Ron signing off. Tell a friend, we all be in it to win it, man.